Hello, here we are once again with Mookie Tenembaum. We are exploring his disillusionist philosophy through these videos. We are trying to understand the misalgic theory about how human behavior relates to the aversion of suffering. And as you know, month after month, now year after year, even we are in late April 2022, we've been trying to illustrate the abstract concepts in this philosophy, in this theory, with matters of everyday life, with current affairs from the news. We've been discussing the ongoing COVID pandemic since the very beginning of this exercise. Lately, we've been concerned with the affairs in Ukraine. But today we are going to take a step back, I would say, and discuss a more strictly philosophical matter, which is the idea of purpose, the concept of a goal, of an answer to the question, what for in life, of course, from a disillusionist point of view. So we'll see what happens with the concept and the illusion, maybe, of a purpose, a meaning, an end, a goal in life.
Well, I would think that purpose, and so because some of the synonyms have a little variation on how they are used, colloquially speaking. But I think purpose will do, and the question would be behind it is what for? What for? It's not a question, nor a normal question you use in the English language. In fact, you ask the purpose of something. In other languages, in Spanish, it is a very important way of achieving that, to know the purpose of something. So the first thing is when and how the concept of purpose arrives. So the first thing I can tell you is this is probably one of the most, if not the most modern question of them all. Because when the human being started and knowing itself, yes, computer number 2 looking at computer number 1, remember computer number 1 is the body, the physical part. Computer number 2 is the part that allows us to see the future and to think about the past. So when it looks at that, then there is a knowledge, the knowledge of yourself. That knowledge of yourself brings a lot of things, but purpose probably is not up there. First, they have to eat and find shelter, and so the animals will not eat you. And there is a long list of questions that I'm sure arise from how the fire, well, what's the fire, what's the nature of fire, I'm sure. But purpose is something quite late, that I would call it even a question for the well-off, for the rich ones, for the ones that have answered all the other questions. So, but the interesting thing is that we keep on adjudicating purpose to things that cannot have purpose. First of all, animals. Yes, why the dog was frowning? What for the dog was frowning? He was not doing what for nothing. He's the result. We spoke about it. Dogs and birds are the result of evolution, and evolution has not such question. It is the result that ended up in another result. So if it's a bird that it's blue, yes, and it attracts the female birds, and thus they reproduce more often than those who were red or yellow, let's say, in a species. It wasn't for that. That was the result. Yes. So the question, the what for is not the right question. The purpose, there is no purpose. That is the result. And now it looks like it will have a purpose. Yes. Imagine yourself that you play in the lottery and you play numbers every week and you lose and you lose and you lose. On one day, you win. Why did you play the 7? To win. That is the reason I play the 7. That's the purpose. I don't think that would be a purpose. So this is, but there are purpose all around nature. Yes, nature, the purpose. We even volcanoes have purpose. Yes, gods have purpose. There is nothing that gods do accidentally. No such a thing. So purpose means intention, Florencio. Yes, there is a person with intention. What do you think about this, Florencio? What is your opinion?
I see the picture you are drawing, of course. I see how there is no goal in a volcanic eruption. There is no goal in a planet revolving around a star. There is no goal in the evolution of any animal. But the interesting side to this story, I think, is that we still attribute a purpose in almost everything that we see. And this means, as you said, that we presuppose a sort of intention back there. My question is, why would we do this? Why would we keep inventing, as it were, imagining, as it were, ends and goals and reasons behind whatever happens around us? Is there a misalgic, as you say, purpose behind this? Is there a reason that alleviates our suffering? Because if not, it's a weird part of human behavior, isn't it?
Well, first of all, yes, every action we do, its purpose, it's again, the result, in many cases, it's not even the purpose, that's what happens to us.
Mm-hmm.
But it is to run away from suffering, yes? So when you burn yourself with a flame, yes, you may try to put it in the mouth, yes, and then it gets calm. Why did you put it in your mouth? Because you were programmed to do it. Every human being, when it gets, it tries to cool it with the saliva, but he's not thinking about it. I'll do that, so it's automatic. Sometimes, if I will put a special cream, yes, then there is a purpose to what I do. But look, very interesting, because your question is, why are we so purpose addicted? When it is really a very unusual situation in which to be. We don't ask of purpose of things because we are sleepwalking. And when we sleepwalk, we don't ask questions, unless it's an automatic question, yes? At what time the train arrives? That is not really a question, yes? There is an answer. You are supposed to ask that question because you arrive to the train station. That's what you do every day, every single day. So there is no purpose in that. Purpose means that the answer is open. Now, here there is another issue. If the answer is open, you will not be able to go back sleepwalking until that answer satisfies you, or you are distracted by something else. But in general, that is the way, yes? So what you do is, when you ask when you claim that you have asked the question, when you publicize your what force, yes, your purposes, you are really aiming at a very interesting point, and that is that intention is very well looked. If your intention is good, of course, but accidents are not acceptable. You're supposed to do everything intentional. Praying has to be intentional. Ask every religion. You are not supposed to pray automatically. You are to have intention. So intention is everywhere. More than that, the whole legal system, the criminal legal system, is based on intention. If there is no intention, then things are they're better. I mean, you didn't intend it. So intention is in the center of everything, and intention means purpose. So here you have a situation in which you think about purpose. And remember, Florencio, when we sleepwalk, we don't ask that question. So there is an inflation of the purpose question.
Yeah, but what you are saying, which I also find interesting, is that illusions as such require this inflation. Illusions as such thrive on good intentions or bad intentions, right? Either to punish them or to reward them. They have to be all over. And we discussed this before in the past. Epics are a central part of illusions. And I almost can't imagine how epics could function without intention, without a sense of purpose, without an end and a goal there driving it.
Well, I said the gods need intention, because if not, if they say God was one day playing on his TV, and suddenly he missed something and he created mountains. It was a mistake. He wanted to have everything plain. Well, that doesn't exist. If everything has to be, and illusions, not only gods, countries, we have the intention of becoming green and save the planet. We intend to have, depending, of course, on which illusion you're talking, Russia, China, India, there is a lot of, and in general, political parties talk about goals and purposes. The whole thing is there. So illusions are thrive on it. They will be naked. They will have no protection. Think about it. It's like the animals that get he takes a lot of air and puts like this so to threaten somebody else. That's what illusions do, and they do it by making huge buildings. Yes, because normally they have to be huge buildings with huge flags and huge uniforms and everything very nice, and have the purpose. And you are part of the illusion, supposedly, you are going to get a little bit piece of that. So you have a purpose. Maybe you don't have a purpose, but Bolivia has a purpose.
But if I get it correctly, it's just inflation. It's just hot air. Truth is, there's very few and far between instances of purpose, of end in actual life, even in human life.
If we accept that we have either sleeping or sleepwalking 99% of the day, that means we only have 1% of time in which we can have a purpose, a real one, an intention. And you can have an intention and not have a purpose, yes, but let's say every intention is a purpose. You can have an intention. That doesn't mean you do have one. And that intention, let's say I'm going on a diet. For why? To be slim and look good. And there is a whole answer behind it. But that's one moment. Then the diet goes along. Let's say you're successful, not like most of the diets, and end up after 3 months. During these 3 months, there was no purpose. Every time you eat a piece of lettuce, you are not full with purpose, and that's what they try to do. The illusions, yes. The soldiers have to have purpose all the day, but the truth is that you are sleepwalking, and that means that purpose. It's very, very unusual in life to have a purpose. So what are we doing with purpose? So why are we talking about purpose? And that's exactly the question. Purpose is irrelevant in our lives. Not that people say, what is the meaning of life, which is really the purpose. What is the meaning of life? That conversation is very nice to distract you probably from your pain in the leg or the fact that your brother-in-law is going bankrupt. It doesn't matter. That will be probably a distraction. You really don't need that to live. Kafka said, the writer, he said that the meaning of life is that it stops. So if you want to make it in one sentence, simple sentence, the purpose in life is not to die. That is what you are trying to do. And that's where our intentions are being channeled to. So you understand, the argument is not, does life has a purpose or not? It's irrelevant. It doesn't change your life, having or not having a purpose.
We're almost out of time. We are already out of time, but I'm laughing because this is the most, I would say, grandiose question in the history of philosophy. And we've been discussing what's the end game and what's the goal and what's the purpose, what's the meaning in this sense, in the goal to which you aspire in life. And what you're saying is that whatever answer we give, the problem is the question itself is irrelevant because it amounts to a very small percentage of existence.
And most of the time, just to distract yourself from something else. It works misogynically that way.
Yeah. Very well. Thank you very much. I'm sure this will come up again as we discuss more concrete, more everyday, down-to-earth matters. But it's interesting to have it at this more abstract level already in record.
What is the purpose? What is the purpose of these classes of philosophy? That's a good question. I'm not going to answer to that. Have a good day.
If you enjoyed the video, please like it, comment and subscribe.